Need some help?
Well, I can
I
tell.
think you do need help. Because it's all about.
I can tell it's 9:10 in the morning because I started recording with the phone going the wrong way. It's Wednesday, April 27th, 2022, and we're actually doing something that we never do today. We never go visit a place or go to an event or museum and then travel as well. But we're kind of forced into it that we're in Crawfordsville,
Indiana. Yeah, it's like west of Indianapolis.
And we intentionally stopped here solely to go to kind of a unique museum. It's a Rotary prison. They only made 18 of these in the United States, and this is literally the only one that's still preserved and actually still operates. Of course, they're not using it anymore. They stopped using it, I think, in 1978. It was either 73 or 78. I'll put the correct date on the screen.
We just took garbage out in case you're wondering.
Yeah. Well, we wanted a little action for you guys, Hey, let's look at, there's Myles. We got Myles stuffed in a spot there. I think I got him shown. So we're going to leave a little early. We're going to try to get there at 10 a.m. when they open. Yeah. They weren't open on Monday and Tuesday, and we had scheduled Tuesday for the day we were going to go there.
Thing, yeah.
So we just ended up editing videos. We're slaves to YouTube, and we'll get there early.
It's our creative outlet. Come on.
Walk around the prison area a little bit, and hopefully we won't get in trouble and thrown in to the Rotary.
Yeah, Rotary jail. Unique way of designing a jail. It should be interesting.
And we're going to learn a lot of things about it. Not particularly safe and not particularly joyful existence for the folks there. All right, let's get going.
All right.
Well, I'm a liar, I'm a boozer, I'm a bastard and abuser, and I'm wondering how much lower can I go? I've been beaten, I've been bloodied, I've been broken and betrayed, and I'm wondering how much lower can I go? I'm wondering how much lower can I go?
So just looking at this building as you're driving by, it's beautiful actually. The architecture's really cool. Who would have thought this is a jail? Not your typical looking jail.
So I suppose the next thing you're going to say, Sue, is the reason I wanted to go to this jail is because I wanted to see the machinery and how it worked for the cells.
Yeah, right. Check out the sign. Look at all those gears.
Yeah, it's like a Pez dispenser for prisoners.
Yikes. So apparently this was not only the jail, it's the sheriff's residence also, built in 1882. Actually was the first Rotary jail built.
The way I understand it, Sue, is there's still other ones that are in existence, but apparently this one's preserved the best because it actually still works. And this is the only one that has all of the cells and everything supported by a pedestal with a big bearing on the bottom. So this pedestal is supporting everything up above when it rotates. All the other ones were designed where all of the equipment hangs. Yeah. Unbelievable. In 1973, they shut this down after 91 years. I mean, think, what were you doing in 1973? I'll tell you what I was doing. I had just completed 2 years in a junior college, and I was entering the big boy college of UW Milwaukee to finish up my 3 years for my mechanical engineering degree. And Sue said you were still in high school.
Yeah,
right?
Mark is a cradle robber. I actually, when this closed, I actually was just a sophomore in high school.
Right, but I mean, let's not lose that point. In 1973, when we go inside there and you see what it looks like, people were still sitting in here. Very soon after it was open, people started saying, hey, this isn't right, Even though they built 18 of them. There was one lady in particular that kind of made it in her mission in life to visit all sorts of prisons throughout the United States and try to bring them up to standards of a decent amount of humanity, and be a humane treatment of the people that you're supposedly trying to rehabilitate. Right. Back in the day, in the beginning, rehabilitation really wasn't
going on.
part of the mantra. It was just throw somebody away in a dark place and throw away the key. It's a lot smaller than I envisioned.
Yeah.
I mean,
it only has 16 cells.
Yeah, but they're double stacked.
Oh.
There ain't 16 in the bottom. There's 8 in the bottom and 8. It's a double decker, and it wasn't like they had air conditioning back then.
Ooh, good point.
Wow.
Thanks. As you walk in the front, it looks like someone's home, and that is exactly what it is. The front was the sheriff's residence. You can see the stairs leading up to the bedrooms, which was closed off and not open to the public. As we wandered through the living room and into the kitchen, there's someone there collecting admission. It was only $5. You probably noticed in the front hallway there are photos of all the sheriffs that lived here at one time. We were lucky enough to be there the day this gentleman was giving the tours. He's actually a nephew of one of the sheriffs and told us many of his memories coming here as a child. The end of the front hallway is the entrance into the jail. And I really wish I could remember this guy's name, but as an adult, he also was a deputy. So he really knew this place when it was operating, and again, had many great stories to share when he worked here.
And these guys here showed up. Part of the Hells Angels. We had them here. I stood across the street over there, me and the deputy sheriff. Bench up against the wall. And in the summertime, when I would come up here, they would holler at me. And they'd say, well, I got money in my account. You need to go across the street. There's a tavern right over there. And that tavern has been on that corner ever since I can remember.
Oh, okay.
And I'm in my mid-80s.
No kidding.
And they'd want me to go get them stuff. I wouldn't do it. Well, I could have, but I never did do it.
They have this display here that shows the different criminal offenses in the early days from 1884 to 1904. The main reason to be locked up here was public intoxication, mainly men, and their average stay was just 1 day. We walked all the way around on the first floor and came back to the beginning. Oh, that's the door. Oh.
Now the reason that door has a dip in it is so that the turnkey could stick his head in there and look this way and this way.
Just like that.
We had
And then with everyone clear, we were shown how they turned the jail. Looks like a workout, and it was slow, which actually was one of 2 design problems. This one being the first. If fire erupted, it took too long to get everyone out. And this was the second design problem. Limbs could be broken or amputated if they were sticking out of the cell when the cell block was rotated. And by 1938, the turntables were disabled. I don't know, Mark. Boy, if you're a big guy, you're not going to fit in there.
No, but it is kind of comfy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You know the bad thing about this bathroom, the way it's set up, is because everything's metal in here, probably didn't get good cell service back then.
Oh my God.
So we learned a lot of things since we've been here. I thought this was a prison. Big difference, it was a county jail. Right, and so typically they were only here for a day or two until their court date was approved, and then they would literally let the prisoner out on his own recognizance to walk across the street to go to the courthouse. And what year did we say this prison was built, honey?
1881, I think. 1882.
Wow. Well, they stopped using the rotating mechanism in about 1938 or 39, I think, which is kind of a tribute to how dangerous and problematic it was, you know, in terms of people having their hand in the wrong spot at the wrong time when it would rotate, or they could fall asleep and have their leg through here. You got to remember their bed is right here.
There was one person, not in this jail, whose the bars were more wide open, and he stuck his head out and he was decapitated.
Yeah, so then that was literally when they stopped using it. So you ask, well, how the heck do you use this jail then if you can't rotate it? Well, they would leave it rotated so that there was one cell open with a bed in it, but they apparently must have had areas to lay down all in this area. So just this outer area was used as the county jail. And it was extremely cold and extremely hot, depending on the season. We did learn that in the back here, in each of these cutout areas, that's where the toilet facility was. And when you would make a deposit, so to speak, the toilet looked like this. This toilet, because you can see the bolted flange, that toilet was bolted to the underside of that hole that was there. There was a cistern on the roof that collected water. And so twice a day, they would flush all of the toilets, only twice a day. And if you were during a dry season and it didn't rain for a while and the cistern wasn't full of water, I imagine they had to go to plan B. Don't know what that was.
So this is the second floor of the Rotary prisons or cells, laid off pretty much the same way.
Just like any good hotel that you're staying in, you have the better rooms. This one had indoor plumbing. Actually, this is the women's cell, it says.
Yeah.
Women didn't go in the Rotary block.
So here on the second floor, they actually did cut out these bars so that you can get in. I'm not sure if they did that since it was refurbished for the museum or if it was actually part of the jail. And you can see there's actually 2 bunks in there. Sounds like they all had 2 bunks. Here's the catwalk they eventually installed.
This is permanently welded shut once again, so they don't have to worry about a door getting caught in the mechanism. I mean, it's not as if they have the L. Bradley controls here with limit switches on telling them, oh, door 6 closed, must be closed first before we rotate.
Oh, I see, and then it ends here, that's what he was talking about. It ends and then you turn around. Okay, now we're heading up to the 3rd floor. So it looks like this is actually, the 3rd floor is the infirmary to help take care of the sick and the injured. They also put minors in here who were runaways from home. They didn't have any doctors or nurses on staff here, so if they really needed some medical help, they'd send them down to the hospital.
We're downstairs.
You're going downstairs? So it sounds like we're going downstairs now. Let's check this out.
So this boiler was for the radiators here? Didn't you say that there's a plant in the back?
Yeah, and they ran it over here.
Oh, okay, so.
See, now this was all hand dug and hand laid. These bricks were made here in Crawfordsville. Now you see, there it is right there. Now here's how it rolls.
Yeah.
See, there's the gear and there's the bearing. it rolls. That's how it works. And all this weight, 60,000 pounds or 3 tons. And brought in here in sections on the railroad over there and transported over here by horse.
This was the coal, and they would wheel it over in there and shovel it in there.
Well, the prisoners gotta have something to do.
So the prisoners would have to do that?
Gotta have something to do. Can't sit on your hind end all day.
Wow.
We have students come down here from Purdue, engineering students. We'll take a look at it. Some of them just, they can't fathom in their mind how this works. Right?
What we could tell, the first floor was never modified to use anything other than the one cell that was rotated in a certain position. But on the second floor, they actually did cut some holes into the carousel so that the 9 cells up on the second floor could be used. And on the first floor, all of the area in and around the cells was used as kind of an area for the inmates to congregate and to be able to pass the time of day.
We got here at 10 a.m. and we're done by 11:30. And this is another reason we love being full-time, stopping and finding little pieces of history in small-town USA. This was a gem to visit. And now we're off to our next destination. Like we said, we usually don't tour and travel in the same day, but our next stop is only 2.5 hours away. And on our way to our next destination, of course, we need to fuel up. Check out our video on how we're saving money, especially now with prices so high. So we pulled into a TA and we used our Open Roads RV fuel discount card. And you can see with a $390 fill, we actually saved almost $41 on this. This is a great deal. Check out our video again on this, either on our website or in our YouTube channel. We really appreciate your support and help, and use us as a referral. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.